So it's been a little bit since I've done a update or went over any of this since I put the pothos in. It seems to be going good. The tanks definitely look a little cleaner for the most part. I'm taking a couple baby fish out of here that were definitely not black Moscows. There was like 3 of them, and I put them in the other 5-gallon with the new babies over there. So this one's still doing good. She still has not had her babies. I don't know if she's holding on to them but I'm assuming that, I'm hoping it's not bloat or something, but I mean, she looks pregnant to me. I mean, she's not really pine coning or anything per se that I could tell. She looks healthy. She's very active, eats a bunch. I just think she's brewing a big patch of them. She's gonna have a lot of babies, I think. Ember tetras are doing good. Shrimp has molted twice now. There he goes. He's still in there, hanging out. He's doing well, so I think sooner or later I'd like to get a couple more shrimp to put in here. And, you know, now I got a little bit better understanding how to slowly acclimate them so they don't die so quick. It's not, you know, do or die. Maybe I'll start keeping a few more of the shrimp that I actually put in here. That would be great. Other than that, that's pretty well it. The corridors, I mean, I'm still noticing eggs on the side, spawns, but they don't seem to be hatching. And I don't know if that's the corridors or the ember tetras. But it's fruitless. I've not seen any kind of babies out of either one of them. But I see the eggs all over the glass all the time, so I don't know what's going on with that, but that is that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to the next 5-gallon. Alright, so over here, this one's going to get a water change today. It is not cycled, and it's got babies in it and such. I'm down to the one mother female in this tank. Everything else has died. Like I said, I've been having a lot of trouble with death, and we'll go over that here real quick at some point. And the babies are doing fine. It seems like the babies are, I don't know. I've not lost one baby yet, but I keep losing the adult fish. So maybe they're immune. Now these bigger ones are the ones that I pulled out of the other 5-gallon. As you can tell, they are clearly not black Moscow. So other than that, the tank's doing well. I've noticed that somehow I've got a couple baby snails in here. Looks like, from what I could see, there's 2 different ones. Not sure where they came from, but we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here. Now, if you remember, I said I put this in here, this pothos in this one, without roots to see how fast it rooted. I've heard guys on YouTube claiming, 1 or 2 days. I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to growing things and plants. I ain't really never seen something sprout that fast, and obviously it's still, you guys have seen it. You've seen it when I put it in. Still not really rooted, so I'm not getting the same results. Now maybe it's because this water is not heated. It's just ambient temperature. But I keep my place at 74 because I'm disabled, and I don't like it chilly. It makes me hurt. So yeah, I don't know. Still hasn't really rooted, but it's definitely not dying either. They're all looking pretty good. So alright, let's go to the one tank where all the action is. Now, I'm sorry about the mess, folks. My son turned 21 yesterday, so it's a little messy right here. Deal with it. It's reality. It's how we all live. Alright, so this is the tank in question. Now, if you could see, I got a dead fish in there. That's normal, everyday stuff for me in this tank. They just keep dying off. Their fins rot away, and I've been using the Melaflix or Melflix or whatever you call it, Melaflix, and I've been doing some research on that, And it doesn't sound like it's the cure-all that people say, and like Aquarium Co-op and all them seem to portray it. From the way I understand it and the research I've done, it's really actually, it only has a very small, I mean, it doesn't really help much. It's hard to, I don't know really how to explain it, but it's not the cure-all. I actually dosed this tank with salt. The way I'm gathering it, salt's actually the better way to go when you're trying to heal. Use it as medicine, not long term. So don't get me messed up. I'm not a professional here, but so salt is not good for long term, the way I understand it. But for disease and such, it's a-okay and it works the best. So that's where I'm going with. I'm gonna use it, you know, in conjunction with the Maleflix or whatever you call it. I'll do a water change in this one today, and then add some of the Maleflix into it, and then the next day I'll do a water change and then add some salt. Now you gotta remember, I put 2 tablespoons in here for a 10-gallon aquarium. So when I go to change this water out, I'll do a 50%. So when you fill this back up, folks, you don't want to put another 2 tablespoons in there, because salt does not evaporate out of water. It's going to be in there until you take it out with water changes. So if you've already got a half a tank in there, that means you have at least got 1 tablespoon of salt. If you do a 50% water change, you got to figure it that way. I mean, by volume. It's been in here since yesterday mixing up, so I'm only going to add 1 tablespoon back into this, because I feel you've already got 1 in there from the other day. So that's how I understand it, so that's the way I'm going to be running it. And again, I won't be adding salt in today. It'll be the Maleflix, Malefix, or whatever you call it. I can't talk this morning. You know, I have early mornings. So I'm going to dig this one out, do a water change, and that's pretty much my day with these 2 tanks. Let's go over and check the cichlids. Alright, the cichlid tank. Now I am pleased to announce that these guys are doing pretty good. Check out who's out. Old Pop Tie has been out and cruising. He's pretty much stays out, so I think, you know, he's definitely on the mend. Now we haven't added any salt to this one yet. I forgot to talk to my son about it, but I am going to do, I think, some salt in this tank, just to kind of smooth it out. Some of them are still kind of rubbing and such, and the way I understand it, I mean, everybody says go to the cure-all or you know, this Maleflix right here. And the way I'm getting it, it's you know, it's very, very minimal. The way I understand it, this has a very small effect on like ick and such. You're better to do it at least in conjunction with, or you know, better to use salt. So that's what I'm going to do, because I've been using this stuff and my fish are still dying, so it's obviously not 100% the way to do it. I know there's other things out there, but the way I've been understanding it, they work best with the little salt in the aquarium. So now everybody, you'll hear them say, you know, this and that, and you know, you can't use table salts and this and that with iodine and all that. I've heard differently. I don't use any iodine because I have plants in this. I'm going to use like Epsom salts. I'm not going to spend money on aquarium salt, because aquarium salt is Epsom salt. If you look at it, it's the same thing. You're just spending more money because now it's specified for aquariums. Don't be fooled by advertising, folks. Read the ingredients. But yeah, I'm pleased to say that this tank is coming around. Obviously, it still needs to cycle. We need to figure out some things that can go in here with cichlids to help clean the tank. We ain't really got that far yet. But you can see these guys are out. They're swimming a lot better. They are rubbing on things a lot less. I think I just want to pad the aquarium with salt for a few days. until the next, or actually it's tomorrow, I think 2 days, and it gets another water change because it just had one. So, you know, give them a couple days and some salt. I mean, we're obviously on the right track with this one because Pop-Tie is definitely out and swimming. I mean, when I first started these videos, as you guys remember, if you watched, you didn't rarely see him. He was probably maybe a week into his injury, at the original injury date, maybe a little bit longer, but he is now out and about. He's eating real hefty, like he's starting to get some of his coloration back. As you guys can see, if you look real close, he is not pale white anymore. He's getting a little blue tint back to him, so we're really happy and excited for Pop-Tie. We're looking forward to having his babies and see where he goes from that and what he breeds, because he really was a beautiful fish when we brought him home. I mean, he just outstanding coloration, and they popped, and he was just curious, and you know, obviously he was gun shy, but he is now getting better. You can sit in front of the tank, obviously, and he doesn't run and hide anymore. And I mean, he was like that before the eye injury. He was really shy, but they're coming too, and they're coming around, and we can't wait. Still looking to find out. Haven't really got any comments. Obviously, not a whole lot of people are watching these yet, but I still would like to know. So, I mean, if you've got hookups out there and you happen to run across this video and you've got fish people and you know, maybe you can lead them to this and help me identify this fish, this cichlid right there. We'd really like to know what that is. Again, we was told it was a golden eye cichlid. So, if anybody can confirm or correct that, please leave a comment, let us know. And I think that's it. The pothos is doing good in all the tanks. I definitely see a difference. The fish are calmer. Especially like my guppies, they like to hang out at the roots. I mean, it's just, at first I thought, oh no, they're sick, because they were just hanging out, but they're not. They're just, they're comfortable, I guess. You know, they're in there chilling, so. I don't know if it does something to the water or coats it or whatever, but it definitely made a difference. My fish are definitely healthier for it. The water, I know this looks pretty bad. It's stirred up a little bit. Actually, it might not only have but a day. I mean, this one might need a water change today. I gotta go back over the books. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, folks. Give me a break. Cut me a little slack. Alright. I think that's it. And, you know, come up with anything else or whatever, we'll keep you updated. I mean, I'm not going to do this a bunch because nobody's watching them anyway, but, you know, like I said, this is basically for me and my grandkids in the future. Keep track of, you know, kind of the things I got into while I was alive and around. One of these days, I'm going to kick the bucket, and it's going to be sooner than later because half my life's already over. And, you know, now that we have all this nifty technology, I think it'd be cool to leave a trace so my grandkids can know me a little bit better, just in case, you know, I don't make it before they're born. Yeah. Alright, y'all. That's all I wanted to say. That's it. That's the update. Pop-Tie. See, can you see the blue on him? I think even that yellow is starting to come back out a little bit. I mean, the eye's moving in its socket still. It's just, I don't think you can see out of it. So, alrighty. We're outie 5. Oh, and I forgot to point something out. As you can see, here's brand new babies. They was born last night. Where she's at? There she is. Mama, the yellow microf up here, she's the one that had them. Yeah, there she is. That's her. And them's her babies. And they are all over the place. Now, this is her first one. She was a baby when I got her. So, this is definitely her first pregnancy. And they are definitely yellow microf. They are already yellow. I mean, you can see it. They're not clear, translucent like the other fish, the other fry have been. They actually have a tint of yellow to them. So I'm confident they're, you know, true microf yellow. I was hoping they would be a mix, but I think they're just micro yellow. I don't know. We'll see when they, obviously, when they grow older. You can't tell right now. They're not even a full day old. You'll notice that they're out floating around with the other ones. That's how I do it. I've seen a couple of them already that, I mean, their guts were hanging out. They weren't doing well, and, you know, so they got eaten, which is the way it should be. It's good food for my fish, which they need right now. So the live food definitely helps them. I've already got the water change done, and you know, I'm planning on doing them every day in this tank because I'm losing so much. And now that they're fry in it, I want to try to make sure it stays clean and healthy as possible. And we'll see how they do in this one. So I now have babies in every single tank. Alright, that's all I wanted to throw in. Alright, so I gotta document this. So we've been waiting on this one to have babies. And last night the yellow micro had a bunch of babies in the 10 gallon. And now this one over here is right now having more babies. And I think that one down there might be getting ready to have babies. And I think that female clear back there might be having babies or getting ready to have babies. Whole lot of babies going on.